Now, this is going to be more geared towards that transition between fall and winter. And I know a lot of you are located in the northern states. Some of you may be located in the southern states. Well, right now, the southern states are literally at the threshold of that 70, 60, or sometimes even 50-degree weather. And we are all navigating the same thing of that transition in season, whether it be we're transitioning in the South from summer, 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 all the way now to summer, 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 fall, summer, 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 and then we go to winter and then summer again. So, with that being said, I wanted to touch on a topic that we get a lot of questions about. I know that, a lot of people tend to ask these questions in the comments. They're like, okay, what do I do? How do I fix this? I'm noticing that I'm shedding a lot, but I can't necessarily tell if it's from stress, because we are all very much so stressed during this very trying time of life. Maybe it might be from hormonal changes. It can also be from, again, like what we're going to talk about today, really just a transition in weather, a transition in climate. That is something that's extremely common. It's not uncommon. It's not something that you don't see on a consistent basis, because you do. Like, you really see this every single year. And around this time of the year is when this problem becomes the biggest problem. So first, let's really, I'm going to dive in. I know you guys are commenting, and I know you guys are literally saying everything. But before I even do, I need everybody to do me a quick favor. This is free. It costs you absolutely nothing. But this helps keep my channel going so that I can give you guys a lot of this information that I give you on a continuous basis for the free 99. All I need you to do is literally take your finger and double tap the screen. That's it. It's totally free. I won't spam you. It won't cost you anything. That's a promise. But you double tapping that screen, you following me or subscribing to me, that is another way that you can help my channel out. And that is totally free as well. All right, so let's talk about shedding versus breakage. I need you guys to actually know that there is a difference between shedding and breakage. There's a big difference between shedding and breakage. Okay. Shedding is something that happens naturally. Okay. But it can also happen in a sense where it's not natural, which we'll talk about in a second. But shedding is something that happens when the hair completes its growth cycle and it comes directly out of the root. But at the same time, a new follicle is forming. So the hair goes through what we call a 3-phase growth cycle. A lot of people don't know that there is phases to how your hair grows. So it grows in, grows out, falls out. That is it. That's the whole cycle. There is, of course, a very technical name, the anagen and tanagen and all these phases, but I'm not going to confuse you guys with that, because that can get very, very frustrating very quickly. So I like to just use the analogy. It grows in, meaning it grows under the scalp. It grows out of the scalp. It falls out. And it goes through this cycle all over again, over and over and over again, at a rate or a speed that you can't naturally see with your naked eye. Okay? You can't naturally see this happening with the naked eye. Now, when the hair sheds, you will also notice that you will see the longer strands with a bulb at the root. Now, that's what we consider shedding. Okay, when you can see a bulb at the end of the hair, that's shedding. So this would be the strand, and then there's a little bitty ball on the bottom of it that comes out. Now, the reason why I said that shedding can be natural but also be not so natural is because if you are having situations where you're having hormonal imbalance, if you're having a situation where your hair has been pulled too tight, the hair can also shed from that actual action or that reaction in the body. Okay, so there is a natural shedding, and then there's a not so natural shedding. Natural shedding is also known that it happens every single day. Naturally, you're going to shed 50 to 100 hairs per day. Naturally. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can see it. Oh my gosh, I didn't shed 50 hairs yesterday. Yes, you did. You just didn't even know. Then there's days where you may shed more. Again, it really depends on a number of factors. The elements outside, the environment that you're in, what the body is going through right now. Are you sick? Are you healthy? Are you dealing with a viral situation? Are you dealing with a bacterial infection? Are you dealing with medications that you're taking? These different factors can definitely induce shedding. But naturally, you're going to shed no matter what. Okay? You're going to shed no matter what. Thank you, Lucinda. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who's joining the live. Thank you to everybody who's double tapping that screen, keeping my channel going, hitting that thumbs up, doing all that good stuff. And thank you to everybody who's already subscribed. Now, breakage is a little bit different. I want you guys to look at breakage as, we're going to use this pencil because I like to use analogies, right? People understand things better when you show them, right? So this pencil is your strand of hair. This eraser is the little bulb that is under the scalp. Okay, this is the little bulb that is under the scalp. Now, when you have breakage, that means the strand actually snaps. Okay, you still have a strand under the scalp, but that strand has broken. That is what we call breakage. If it was shedding, this whole thing would have come out. That is what we call shedding. So when someone says, oh, my hair is breaking, they literally meant how I snapped this pencil. It snapped and broke. When someone says, oh, my hair is shedding, they literally meant the whole strand has fallen from out of the scalp. It has fallen out of the scalp. So that is the difference between the two. Now, breakage doesn't have to happen at the mid shaft. It can also happen literally right on top of the root where it leaves just a little bit here. It can happen here. It can happen here. It can also happen at the end. Okay, split ends, they break. Split ends also cause excessive shedding. So if you have a lot of split ends, they work where they are coming from the top, meaning the end of the strand. We'll use this. This is the strand right here. When you get a split end, the end of the hair splits. And then it works its way up until that literal strand now splits in half and it is now dead. It has died and fallen out because you allowed that splitting to go all the way up the shaft. Okay, so those different things, that's the difference between shedding and breakage. Now, if you guys understand what I mean by the difference between shedding and breakage, I need everybody to put some fire emojis on your screen for me, please. If you understand what I just said when I meant the difference between shedding and breaking, I want you to put some fire emojis on the screen. Okay, because yes, there is a huge difference between the two. There's a huge difference between the two. If you guys can just save your questions for me until the end, we'll get to all your questions. I want to get to the content because I want everybody who's on here over a very, very limited time to get as much information as they possibly can. Thank you for the fire emojis, right? Okay, so seasonal changes can cause more follicles to enter the shedding phase, right? Which is the fallout phase or the telogen phase, okay? That's the official name. Okay, so seasonal changes, the season going from summer to fall, the season going from fall to winter, the season going from winter to spring, the season going from spring to summer. Any type of seasonal change can cause additional shedding, not breakage, shedding. Now, the difference also that I want to point out between shedding and breakage happens from an acute issue. When you have breakage, that's an acute problem. There is something wrong or something that you did wrong or something that you're doing wrong. 80 to 90% of the time when you have shedding, natural shedding, that is from the body doing what it is supposed to do. Now, the other 20% or even 30% of the time, that can be not so natural shedding where you're doing something that's causing you to shed more. Is everybody on the same page? Is everybody on the same page? Okay? Because what I tell people is whenever somebody says, oh, my hair is breaking off, okay, that's an acute problem that we need to attack right now. Oh, my hair is shedding a lot. Okay, more than likely, that's an internal issue that has now become also external. So we need to attack the external while you work on the internal. Okay, and season change is considered external change, not internal change. Right? So whenever you are experiencing an issue of acute shedding or acute breakage, tell me what is the first thing you should do to help remedy that issue right away. I want someone, whether it be one of my pros, I want someone to type and tell me, what should you do right then and there at that next wash day? What should you do? Because there is one specific professional thing that you should do whenever you are experiencing breakage or shedding. This is first, before anything else, first. What should you do? Thank you, Mimi. You are going to do a protein treatment. A protein treatment. As a professional cosmetologist of over 25 years, the only product that is on the actual professional shelf to help lessen or stop shedding is protein. And I don't mean going and cracking an egg and putting it on your hair. That is not a protein treatment. I don't mean going and ingesting a ton of chicken breasts and steak, Wagyu beef. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about raw hydrolyzed protein. Now, most times, protein treatments are not available to you guys in the stores. And when I say that, I mean strictly protein treatments. Now, there's a difference between a protein treatment that they sell to you that looks like this, where it looks like a cream. A true professional grade protein treatment does not look like cream. Okay? It doesn't smell like roses either. And roses stink. It doesn't smell like your favorite flowers and fragrances. It really doesn't. True protein traditionally has a soy sauce smell or a soy sauce look. Okay? It is in a liquid form and it leaves the hair feeling hard when you use it. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay? So for us, our protein treatment would be the Repair RX protein. Okay? For those of you that don't know, Elite Hair Care only makes professional grade luxury style products that you can actually use at home. So my products, and I'm saying my products because every single formula was created by me. Every single formula was written by me, including our protein treatment. It was created based on my professional standards of what I would use in the salon that I did also use in the salon. So protein is the go-to. It is the one thing that I immediately jump to when a client tells me that they have excessive shedding or breakage. Why? Because the protein is a binder. It's a bond builder and a bond strengthener. So the Repair RX protein treatment is exactly what I said. It's a bond builder and a bond strengthener. When your hair breaks or sheds, shedding specifically is coming from the bond itself, more than likely being damaged or broken. Shedding is one of those things where if you get to it fast enough, you can lessen it and control it. Breakage is the hair is so weak after whatever issue you're going through that it now needs to be strengthened and that bond needs to be mended so the hair can be strong. Someone asked, am I a doctor? I'm a hair doctor. I'm not an MD, nor do I diagnose and nor do I treat. I work on hair. I am a hair doctor. I'm a cosmetologist. For those of you that don't know, I'm also a trichologist. I specialize in hair loss. But on top of that, I decided to go back to school and get my certifications in cosmetic chemistry, which allowed me to now understand product development, how products work, what goes with what doesn't go with what causes this, what doesn't cause this, and how to use these different products and raw materials to help fix hair problems and now skin problems. Okay, so protein is going to be your go-to. This type of protein that you guys get in the stores, this is what we call silk protein, okay? If it looks like a cream, not just this product, I'm just showing you the actual item inside the bottle. If it looks like this, it's not a true protein treatment. This is what we call a silk protein treatment, meaning it contains some protein, but is it enough to stop or lessen shedding right away? No. It's not. That is why we created the Repair RX protein treatment, because it is made to help stop or lessen shedding and breakage within the first 20 minutes of use. Okay? It's made to help to lessen or stop the acute issue that you're dealing with. So your first go-to if you're dealing with shedding or breakage is going to be protein. I don't recommend anything else on your wash day in regards to a conditioning treatment other than protein. Any person who sat in my chair in my many years of practicing cosmetology, if they said that their hair's been shedding or breaking a lot or more than normal, the first thing I say is, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do your wash day. I'm going to shampoo you. I'm going to cleanse you. I ask them more questions as well, because sometimes it's not just from just a random thing. And sometimes people don't understand the difference between natural shedding and shedding from an acute problem. And then at that point is when I say, okay, we're going to go ahead and do a protein treatment because we need to attack the acute issue right away. Okay? Outside of the protein treatments, a natural tip or natural pro tip that you can utilize outside of you now using that protein is scalp massages. Okay? Stimulating blood flow helps to also strengthen the follicle. Scalp massages are free. So after you've done your protein treatment, if you just go every single night and you literally just stimulate your scalp, give yourself a massage. While, yes, this feels absolutely amazing, yes, but it's also stimulating blood flow to follicles that may be lacking in blood flow. It's stimulating that flow. It's also bringing the nutrients from within the body to the follicle. The follicle grows from blood. Nothing more, nothing less. So I always tell people, if you have bad blood, i.e. an unhealthy body, don't expect to have healthy hair. Have you guys ever seen, and I'm just using this for an example, have you guys ever seen a crackhead with good hair? Have you ever seen a crackhead on the side of the road? One who takes in drugs, or a drug addict. I said crackhead because y'all know I'm from the hood. Have you guys ever seen a drug addict with amazing hair? Somebody tell me. Name one. I don't think anybody knows one. Have you guys ever seen someone who is going through chemo with amazing hair? Because chemo is made to attack cancer cells that are within the blood. It's also considered poison to some things in the body, which is also why you end up losing your hair. So that's why I like to say, if you have an unhealthy body, how do you expect to have healthy hair? So you got to work within, but then you also have to work outside. Okay? Now, number 2, because we're going to make sure that we stay on point. Moisture balance changes with the weather. Okay? Moisture balance changes with the weather. In the summer, do you need let me ask it this way. In summer, do you need as much moisture as you do in winter? And I want you guys to just type Y or N on the screen. During the summer, do you need more moisture, or in the winter versus during the winter? I said that wrong. There we go. I said it right. In the summer, do you need more moisture than you do in the winter? No. No, you don't. You know why? Because in the summer, we perspire more. We move around more, right? We're outside more. In the winter, one, the humidity is gone. So in the summer, there's humidity. In the summer, there's sweat. In the summer, there's moisture. In the winter, cold air makes things what? Dry. So in the winter, our hair seems to be more dry, more brittle than in the summer. Also in the winter, we are more stationary. Nobody's walking outside and saying, you know what? I go outside in 2-degree weather every single day and I love it. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. As the air cools, the humidity drops, hair loss, your hair loses moisture much faster. Okay? So as the air cools, the humidity drops, and then your hair loses moisture even faster. Okay? Then you have this indoor heat when it's winter time. You have indoor heat plus outdoor cold weather. That is going to equal dry scalp, brittle ends, and excessive shedding. because you're going from two different climates at a very fast pace. During the winter, we are inside our homes and in our offices and in our cars, in the heat, in the warmth, in the way the world works. It's so great, so amazing. And then we walk outside into the cold air, which now is a shock to the hair. So now you are dry scalp. Oh, you have dry scalp, you have brittle ends, and then you have excessive shedding, which is actually more than normal. But what you do to remedy this is what really is going to matter. Also, you're transitioning from light summer products to now heavier moisturizers and sealants in the weather, based on the weather. So you're going from the summer where you were using more lightweight products because you perspire more, you're outside more, you're moving around more, you're noticing that you have a lot more humidity in the air, it's a lot warmer outside, the sun is shining, it's causing things to melt, it's doing all these things. To now, when you go into the winter months, you need to be moisturizing and sealing to lock in the moisture because the cold weather is now going to dry the hair out. Okay? So whenever you have that kind of situation, what should you really be using in the winter months versus the summer months? Are we going to be moisturizing more or are we going to be strengthening more? Especially for those of you that are in the more northern cold states. Are we going to be moisturizing more? Are we going to be strengthening more? I'm going to always say that you're going to moisturize more, and you're also going to make sure that you're sealing the cuticle when you moisturize. Specifically those of you that are low porosity. Those of you that are also type 4 hair type, most times you are low porosity. So you do want to make sure that you are moisturizing and you are sealing. You are using the LOC method or the LCO method, whichever one works best for your hair type and texture. LOC method means liquid oil cream. So you start out with your Elite Hair Care leave-in conditioner. Okay? You start out with your Elite Hair Care leave-in conditioner. Me personally, if your hair is not damaged, I'd recommend our Moist Repair. It is a moisturizing leave-in conditioner, but it is lightweight and it is water-based. Then on the O step, you are now going to add some form of oil. We always will recommend the Goddess Hair Repair Serum for the oil phase. Okay? The oil phase. Or you can use our Frizz Control Serum, which is a silicone-based serum that also works as a sealant. Okay, so the L is going to be your Elite Hair Care leave-in conditioner. I'm going to show you guys one of these ones here. I said the Moist Repair. So you're going to use the Moist Repair. Okay, this is infused with mango butter and snail mucin, also known as snail slime or snail secretion filtrate. It is extremely hydrating to the hair and the scalp. Extremely. This is also a water-based leave-in conditioner. Stop running to those leave-in conditioners that are cream/oil-based. They are too heavy, specifically for those of you that are low porosity. You're clogging the cuticle. You are making the hair actually more dry than moisturized. Okay, so this would be your L in the LOC method or the LCO method. Then for your oil, this would be your O, meaning oil or serum. This is either one. So it can be the Goddess Hair Repair Serum. It can be the Frizz Control. Okay, one or the other. You don't need both. Okay, one or the other. This is more oil-based. This is also a repair serum that has garlic oil, onion oil, biotin, niacin, zinc, macadamia nut oil, rice bran. It has all the good oils and essential oils that the hair really needs, whether it be you're dealing with alopecia or you're dealing with moisture issues. You can also use this to do a hot oil treatment. Some of you don't believe in just doing things a simplistic way. When we were children, what did our parents do to our hair the most? A hot oil treatment. When was our hair the healthiest in our life? When we were children. Okay, the basics, the basics. Or for those of you that don't traditionally want to use the Goddess Hair Repair Serum, you can use the Frizz Control Serum, which is a frizz, humidity, and heat protection serum. It's a sealant. It is a silicone-based sealant. Very lightweight, very small amount needed. Okay, so that's going to be the O of the LOC method or LCO method. And then the C is going to be your cream. Do I have one here? This is one of our older labels, but this is the Hydra Plus Daily Moisture Cream. This is a cream-based leave-in cream that hydrates the hair, moisturizes the hair, is lightweight, and does not build up on the hair. A very small amount goes extremely long way. This also is infused with snail mucin, which is extremely, again, hydrating for the hair and the scalp. So I just gave you guys professional hair care all in one sentence for the free 99. Okay? So when you are working to balance that moisture during this change in season, you're going to do the LOC method or the LCO method. And then, of course, what products you use is definitely important. And, of course, while I'm Elite Hair Care, I'm always going to say Elite Hair Care products because they're professional products. So you always want to just make sure that you are following through, and it's not just stopping at your leave-in conditioner. You need to also seal the cuticle so that the hair can remain actually moisturized. Thank you, Donna. Should I apply oil even if I have dandruff? So remember, you're not applying the oil to the scalp. You're applying it to the hair. Dandruff is a scalp issue, not a strand issue. So you don't need to apply it to your scalp. You need to apply it to the hair. Now for your scalp, where you're dealing with dandruff, I would definitely say make sure that you are pre-pooing or pre-treating. We have the Soothe and Balance sulfate-free pre-poo and pre-treatment. This is a peppermint, menthol, and zinc-based pre-poo / treatment that you can use for dry, itchy scalp, for scalp congestion, situations like dandruff, dermatitis, that kind of thing. This is going to help to soothe and balance that. Again, the name is Soothe and Balance. It's going to help to soothe and balance the scalp so that you can get through that situation of scalp congestion and get it under control. But before I even tell you that, you need to make sure that before you do any of this, you are lifting that dandruff off the scalp first. That is the most important step. If you don't lift it off the scalp, you are assuming that this is going to remove the dandruff. You have to lift the dandruff off first. This is going to help balance the scalp itself that is overproducing sebum that is now considered dandruff. Okay? How often do you for a hot oil treatment with the process that you're explaining? Hot oil treatments, honestly, I use that on one wash day. So let's say you're relaxed. I'm just using relaxed clients. Relaxed people are on an 8 to 12 week cycle, sometimes 16 weeks. Within 8 weeks, you will shampoo your hair at least 4 times. If you're following the 10 to 14 day wash day schedule, you will shampoo your hair or have a wash day at least 4 times. Within that 4 times, one of them should be a hot oil treatment. Now, if you have dandruff, I would not recommend the hot oil treatment. I would more say use the LOC method, use your oils for that. I don't recommend adding oils to the scalp when you're dealing with dandruff because then the body's going to produce more. That's very important. Okay. Cheryl said, interested in the moisture mask. Love the Halloween discount, yet shipping is $9.99. It's way too steep for my budget. Sorry, Cheryl, but free shipping is over $150. If not, yes, shipping is $9.99 right now. Everything is 30% off, so you don't need a code for that. But you can definitely save, and then the shipping would just kind of just work its way in. But yes, everything currently is 30% off. No code is needed. How do you know if you have overly moisturized your hair? That's called moisture overload. You will notice that your hair just feels oily. It feels greasy. It feels heavy. Heavy hair does not mean moisturized. Heavy hair does not mean moisturized, okay? Thank you. Okay, should I wash the scalp daily as a guy? If you have extremely short hair, regardless if you're a woman or a man, you can shampoo a little more often. Do I recommend every day? No, because that can also cause a lot of dehydration and shedding. For lifting the dandruff off the scalp, do you suggest putting something on the scalp to help? Do we just use a regular rat tail comb? Now, if you have dandruff that is more scabby, then you can add some shampoo or Soothe and Balance to the scalp and then still lift it up so that it will hydrate it slightly, and then you can lift it up. Some people have dandruff that bleeds, meaning like a scab. And then when you lift it up, remember Jamario had that too, remember? And then when you lift it up, the scalp bleeds because it's in the form of a scab. So you want to make that, you want to not warm that, you want to wet that or make it more moist so that when it does lift, it doesn't become irritated when you're lifting it. I started using your products. I've not had, oh wow. Oh, that's nice. Look at Donna. Donna said, since I started using your products, I have not had dandruff. My hair has gotten better and thick. Hey, come on now. Come on now. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right. And then number 3, let me get to number 3. You want to make sure that you're prepping your scalp for the season, which we're talking about scalp right now. So it just rolled right into each other. You want to make sure that you are prepping your scalp for the season. Scalp, you get scalp buildup from sweat. You get scalp buildup from products. I call it congestion. Sweating, products, activities during the summer that actually block the follicles, right? So you want to make sure that you are cleaning your scalp, you are exfoliating your scalp so that it can absorb nutrients better, so that it can support healthy hair growth. Okay? It's very important because you need to have a healthy scalp to get healthy hair. Hell, what serum is good for hair growth? Goddess Hair Repair Serum. Goddess Hair Repair Serum. The question was, what serum is good for hair growth? The Goddess Hair Repair Serum. I have severe shedding and breakage. It is relaxed. Can you provide some guidance on how I could reach out to you? So, Angel, I don't have any openings right now for consultations, but I can tell you right now for free because a consultation, it costs for me. Well, let me give you an answer to your question for free. First things first, you need to go do a protein treatment. The Repair RX protein treatment is going to be your go-to. You need to attack the issue that is acute. And then you also need to start taking what we call hair, skin, and nail vitamins. You can talk to your physician on what is best for you, or you can go to any of your local drugstores or pharmacy stores and see which ones you like. I don't have one in specific that I recommend. I'm not a doctor. But I will definitely say you need to strengthen your core, and then you need to strengthen that hair on the outside. So the Repair RX protein treatment is going to be your go-to. And then what you do after you've completed this protein treatment matters. You need to hydrate your hair with one of our Elite Hair Care masks after you've completed your protein treatment. You have to moisturize after protein. If you use protein too much, it will become a dry box and it will literally cause more breakage. That is why whenever you get a protein treatment, after we're done with the protein, if it's a true professional grade protein like the Repair RX, we then go in with our Moist Me 24 karat mask or our Bio Deep Fortifying mask. We apply that to the hair and allow it to sit on the hair for a few minutes to rehydrate the hair. Okay, protein works in a way where it dries the hair out because it's building bonds. It's attaching itself to the follicle. It's building the bonds. It's strengthening. The adverse to that is protein is very drying. So once you're done with your protein, you need to do a moisturizing treatment using our Moist Me 24 karat mask or Bio Deep Fortifying mask. Or if you have our Mended Frizz and Humidity Control mask, you can use that as well. Where to get Goddess Hair Repair Serum. So if you go to Elite Hair Care USA, it is there. Everything is currently 30% off. No code is needed. I ordered your suggested product and can't wait to see how it helps my hair growth. You're going to love your hair growth. You're going to love how your hair feels. You're going to love how your hair smells. You're going to love everything about it. That's one thing that I take pride on, because every product that I've created, I use on myself, I use on my clients, my kids use my products, my family uses my products. I'm actually sending a barrel of products to Jamaica in the next week or so during this hurricane thing that they have going on. That is my way of giving back. I'm sending a barrel of hair care products to Jamaica. So that is, I know everybody's like, oh, wait, you know, right now they're worried about food and water. Yes, they are. But once the food and water is gone, they also lost everything. How are they going to stay clean? How are they going to shampoo and condition their hair? They're stressed out. They need healthy hair just the same. Goddess Hair Repair. Yes, Gloria. Thank you, Star. So today is the final day for the 30% off sale. So I highly suggest if there are any products that I mentioned in today's live, you go ahead and grab those. All right, grab those. Don't be a procrastinator. They are 30% off. And now is the time to grab them. No code is needed. And then it's free shipping over $150. Okay. Now, just to finish off talking about the scalp, I want to make sure that everybody understands prepping now will help reduce winter dryness, itching, and flaking. So you want to see that term that the medical field likes to use, right? Prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. You want to prevent the problem now rather than having to try to figure out how to cure the problem later. Where in Jamaica can we get your products? So my father is my distributor in Jamaica. Unfortunately, due to Hurricane Melissa, he has no absolute way of talking to anyone. Like I literally probably when I see my phone ring, that means that he just got a piece of signal. So there's no way for you to get to him right now. So we are going to suspend any sales in Jamaica. But I will be sending a barrel and my father will be distributing it accordingly to any and everyone around his community. He's based in Linstead. So if you are in that area, my father will be distributing it to, his local area first and then everywhere else that we can. So I'm just trying to do my absolute part to help as best I possibly can as his one daughter. Well, he has 3 daughters, but the one daughter that can actually do something right now. Yeah. So, and then you also want to make sure, guys, that you are exfoliating your scalp at least once every 3 weeks. When we say exfoliating your scalp, we mean going through and you are using a brush or a fine-tooth comb and you're literally just getting any buildup off the scalp for those of you that have scalp congestion. If you are doing anything right, like you're doing your wash day, that's what we call exfoliating when you're lifting the dandruff or the dermatitis or all that stuff off. Okay, that's what we call that. I have Gray Relaxed Hair with thinning as well, and my sister uses your products. I would love to try them, but don't know what I need. Please help. So Lou, you have Gray Relaxed Hair. So one, you need some, do I have any here? You need our Voila Purple Toning Shampoo. I don't have a bottle in here, but you need what we call Voila, like Voila, Purple Toning Shampoo. Okay, that is a great way to keep your grays vibrant, keep them grays, keep the gray and not yellow. It's also going to be a great way to hydrate that gray hair. It is a great hydrator. You also would need, I would more than say I almost said moisture repair, but you need the dry brittle kit. The dry brittle kit is definitely a go-to. That kit has the moisture repair shampoo, the moisture repair Moist Me 24 karat mask, the moisture repair leave-in that I'm talking about, and it also has the Goddess hair repair serum in there. Okay, so outside of that, you'll get the Voila Purple Toning Shampoo that will be added with the shampoo process to keep your gray and not yellow. You're in Spanish tone. So if we have, once he's done, handling the Linstead side, if he has any more products, he'll definitely be going that direction. But I can kind of tell you right now, honestly, he'll probably end up in Linstead with everything. All right. So again, you guys, now is what I say is the perfect time to prep your hair for the cool weather. We got a taste of what cool weather was all of last week. Anybody who was on the eastern side of the United States, you got a taste of what the cool weather is like. My northern states, you probably are already in the cool/cold weather, or you've already gotten into the 50s and the 60s. So you already know what winter is going to be like. If you know better, you do better. If you know better, you do better. So now is the time that you want to prep for that colder weather when we are not outside, when we are shedding profusely, when we are breaking more, when we're dehydrating more because the weather is very dry. Okay, and now is the time. So again, as I said, all of our Elite Hair Care products are 30% off, as well as our body care products, which I really didn't talk about today. But they are 30% off. No code is needed. Simply visit the W. Okay, visit the W and you'll be able to get the different products that you need for your hair for 30% off. 30% off. No code is needed, all right? No code is needed. And today is the last day. Tara, Can you put, I'll text it. The Repair RX will be back in stock in just a moment. Hold on, you guys.
I'm waiting on you to talk about a few things.
Okay, give me a moment, please. Angel, give me just a moment. So it'll be back in stock in just a moment. Hey, Tara, I sent you a text. And then, like I said, you guys, today is the final day of the 30% off. I'm going to let everybody go because I need to go help process some orders. There's a ton of orders that need to get done. So I hope everybody got some really good information from today's live. I hope you guys got some information on how to take better care of your hair before that cold weather comes. And of course, I'll see everybody on the next live. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, follow your girl. You know, that keeps my channel going. And thank you again, you guys, for watching. Bye.